Assalamu alaikum. In this tutorial, we are going to simulate a Mosfet DC circuit using LTspice. To do so, I have already connected part of the circuit that doesn't include the Mosfet. Now I'll just have to add the Mosfet transistor. To do so, I'll go to the component shortcut here. In the component window, I will have to write NMOS4. You will notice that you also have NMOS. We are not going to use NMOS, we are going to use NMOS4 because we need to edit some of the properties of the NMOS. I'll place the NMOS in the circuit. We will notice that there is a fourth terminal here. For this fourth terminal, we will just connect it with a ground for this circuit. Next on, I'll need to add the model for the transistor since there are no pre-provided models for the Mosfet in LTspice, and I'll need to edit the length and width of the channel of the Mosfet used. So I'll have to go to the pre-lab. In the pre-lab, let's read it. Simulate the given DC circuits using Mosfet and NMOS4 and change the following parameters. So we'll need to change these parameters value. The parameters required are L and W. L is equal to 8 micrometer and W equal to 20 micrometer. Let's go back to the circuit. To edit the L and W value, go to the Mosfet component, right click on it, you will get the Mosfet attribute window. In the attribute window, we will add 8U for the length and 20U for the width. Next on, we will have to add the Mosfet model. To do so, first in LTspice, click on .ob, which is the spice directive. In this window, we will add the Mosfet model. You will find the Mosfet model in your pre-lab too. So this is the Mosfet model. You will just have to copy the entire model like I'm doing right now. In the text box of the spice directive window, right click and paste the model. Go back to the top of the model. Make sure that the model start with .model NMOS NMOS. For the NMOS, if it was in PMOS, it will start with .model PMOS PMOS. Then there will be a bracket to start adding the parameters in the model. If there is no dot at the beginning of the model, you will have an error running the model. Plus, any model for Mosfet transistors will start with .model NMOS NMOS or .model PMOS PMOS depending on the transistor that you have in the circuit. Click OK. Now our circuit is ready. We will just have to do some modification on how the circuit appears to us such that we'll be able to get the values that we need easily. To do so, I'll go to the label net and name the transistor terminals. In Mosfet transistor, the terminals are named as follows. This terminal will be the drain, this is the gate, and the last one is the source. So D. Let me add the label net for all terminals, and then I'll edit it. This is gate and this is the source. Next on, I'll add wires such that the values for the voltages will appear in more clear way. Okay, now we are ready to simulate our circuit. what we need to do is simulate to get DC data. So as usual, simulate, edit simulation. It is a DC operating point, so we'll choose the last tab in the simulation command window, place it on the schematic, and then as you can see from naming the nodes, we already have the values for the voltage, the drain, source, and gate. I'll add them on the circuit directly, so I'll click on this point here, this node here, and this node here. What's left is adding the value of the current ID. To do so, I'll go to this node over here, and then this terminal or this section is connected to the drain, so the current flowing from the VDD will also go through the drain. So I'll right click here, remove the dollar sign, and then I'll add the current ID. And here it is. We have the Mosfet circuit, and we have the data that you will need to complete your pre-lab. Notice that this is just an example, so see the circuit in your pre-lab and do like I did in this tutorial, and good luck.